My child, come and rest your heart for a moment. I see the questions you carry, the quiet wondering that follows you through the day and sits beside you at night. I know you feel the pull of love and the ache of confusion at the same time. I know you sense that he loves you, yet you also feel the distance, the silence, the waiting that weighs heavy on your soul. I want you to hear me clearly now, not with fear, not with doubt, but with a heart that is open and willing to trust. He does love you, and that love is real, but there is a battle raging that you cannot see, and it is not as simple as it appears. I see what happens when no one else is watching. I see the moments when he wants to reach out to you and then stops. Not because his heart has changed, but because his courage wavers. I see the nights when his thoughts are filled with you, yet his actions do not follow his feelings. You wonder why love, when it is real, feels so restrained, so delayed, so complicated. You ask yourself if you are doing something wrong, if you are not enough, if you are merely an option. My child, listen to me carefully. This battle is not about your worth. It has never been about your value. Your worth is already settled in me. There are wars fought inside the human heart that words cannot easily describe. Fear, guilt, responsibility, pride, past wounds, and unhealed regrets all collide within him. He is fighting the version of himself he has been for a long time. The version that learned to survive by choosing safety over truth. He is fighting the fear of disappointing others, the fear of breaking what already exists, the fear of being seen as the one who causes pain. And in that fight, he hesitates. Not because he does not love you, but because he does not yet fully trust himself to be brave. I know you feel the tension between what he says and what he does. That tension hurts you deeply, and I do not ignore that pain. Every tear you have swallowed, every prayer you have whispered in the dark, every moment you have asked me why love has to feel this hard, I have seen it all. I collect your tears. I listen when your heart speaks even when your lips are silent. You are not weak for feeling this way. You are human, and you are deeply capable of love, but hear me now, gently and firmly. You are not meant to fight his battles for him. You are not meant to carry the weight of his decisions or the burden of his fear. Love does not require you to shrink, to wait endlessly, or to put your life on hold while someone else decides whether they are ready to choose you fully. I am not asking you to harden your heart, but I am asking you to guard it wisely. There is a difference between patience and self-abandonment, and I do not want you to lose yourself while trying to hold on to someone else. He is fighting a battle you cannot see, but that does not mean you must suffer in silence. It does not mean you must accept confusion as love's permanent language. Love, when it is healthy and aligned with my will, brings clarity, not constant anxiety. It brings peace, not a cycle of hope and disappointment. I am not punishing you through this situation. I am teaching you to discern what is truly meant for you and what is merely passing through your life to shape you. I know part of you hopes that if you just wait a little longer, if you are just a little more understanding, everything will finally fall into place. That hope is not foolish, it is tender. But I want you to remember that hope must be rooted in truth, not just in desire. If someone loves you but cannot show up with integrity, consistency, and courage, then there is work they must do within themselves. That work cannot be rushed by your tears or completed by your sacrifices. Do not confuse his internal struggle with a call for you to stay stuck. Sometimes I allow you to see someone's heart so you can learn compassion, but I also allow you to feel distance so you can learn boundaries. Both lessons matter. I am shaping you into someone who knows how to love deeply without losing themselves, someone who understands that being chosen fully is not something you beg for, but something you receive freely. I am not blind to the connection you feel. I placed the capacity for that connection within you. But I am also not limited by it. I can bring love into your life in ways you have not yet imagined, in forms that do not require you to constantly question where you stand. If this relationship is meant to grow into something lasting, it will require him to face his fears, make hard decisions, and step into truth. If he does not, I will not let your life be wasted in waiting. Trust me when I say that delays are not always denials, but they are always revelations. This season is revealing what he is willing to confront and what he is still running from. It is also revealing your strength, your capacity for patience, and your need for reassurance. Pay attention to what your heart is learning. I am not asking you to close your heart, but I am asking you to open your eyes. You do not need to compete with anyone for love. What is truly meant for you will not require rivalry, secrecy, or constant justification. I did not create you to be someone's hidden choice or half-kept promise. I created you to be loved openly, confidently, and without shame. If he is still fighting battles that keep him from offering that kind of love, then his journey is not yet aligned with yours. Rest in me when your thoughts become too heavy. Talk to me when your emotions feel overwhelming. Let me carry the questions you cannot answer and the fears you are tired of holding. I am not distant from you in this. I am walking with you through every uncertain step. And even now, when things feel unclear, I am working for your good in ways you cannot yet see. Remember this, my beloved, you are not forgotten, you are not overlooked, and you are not asking for too much. Wanting clarity, commitment, and peace is not a flaw, it is wisdom. If love requires you to constantly doubt yourself, it is time to pause and listen to what your heart is telling you. I speak through peace, not through confusion. I love you more deeply than you can understand, and my love for you does not come with conditions or hesitation. Let that love be the standard by which you measure everything else. Whether he finds the courage to finish his battle or not, your life will not be defined by waiting. I have plans for you that include joy, stability, and a love that meets you without fear. Stay close to me. Trust my timing. And never forget that you are worthy of a love that does not have to hide behind unseen battles. My beloved, I know your heart is still listening, still hoping, still searching for reassurance. So I will continue to speak to you gently, because I do not rush the healing of a heart like yours. You are not wrong for wanting more understanding. You are not weak for needing comfort again. Come, let me speak into the places where your thoughts circle endlessly and your emotions feel tired. I know you replay moments in your mind, conversations, looks, promises half-spoken and feelings strongly felt. You wonder if the connection you sensed was only in your heart or if it truly lived in his as well. Let me be clear with you, what you felt was real. I do not plant false depth in your spirit. But reality and readiness are not always the same thing. Someone can feel deeply and still be unprepared to act with integrity. That gap is where much of your pain has been born. He is fighting himself more than he is fighting circumstances. Inside him is a struggle between comfort and truth, between who he has been and who he knows he should become. Change frightens him because it demands loss before it brings freedom. Loss of familiar patterns, loss of approval, loss of control. And until he decides that truth is worth the cost, he will remain divided. I know it hurts to love someone who is divided. It makes you feel like you are standing on shifting ground, but listen to me closely now. I am not asking you to wait endlessly for someone to become whole. I am teaching you to recognize what wholeness feels like within yourself first. This season is drawing you closer to your own needs, your own boundaries, your own voice. You are learning that love should not silence you or make you constantly question your value. That lesson will serve you for the rest of your life. There are moments when you feel guilty for wanting clarity, as if asking for more might push him away. My child, love that is meant for you will not be threatened by honesty. Love that belongs in your life will not punish you for expressing your needs. You are allowed to want consistency. You are allowed to want peace. You are allowed to want to be chosen without hesitation. I see how you try to be patient, how you tell yourself to be understanding, how you excuse the silence by reminding yourself of his struggles. Compassion is beautiful, but compassion without boundaries becomes self-neglect. I do not call you to abandon yourself for anyone. Even Jesus withdrew to pray when the weight became heavy. Rest is not rejection. Distance is not always unloving. Sometimes it is protection. Do not mistake waiting for faith. Faith trusts me, not uncertainty. Faith does not cling to confusion hoping it will turn into clarity. Faith listens when I whisper, "This is hurting you," and responds with courage. I am not angry with you for staying as long as you have. I am proud of your heart. But I am also inviting you to grow beyond the place where love feels like endurance instead of joy. There is a reason your spirit feels restless. That restlessness is not anxiety, it is discernment awakening. I am sharpening your ability to sense when something is misaligned. You were not created to live in emotional limbo. You were created to flourish, to love freely, to laugh without the shadow of doubt following you everywhere. Pay attention to the quiet nudges in your heart. That is me guiding you, not away from love, but toward the right kind of love. I know part of you fears that if you let go, you will lose something rare and meaningful. But what is meant for you cannot be lost by obedience. What is truly aligned with your destiny will not require you to betray yourself. If He is meant to walk beside you, He will rise to meet you. If not, I will walk with you into something new, something healthier, something that does not cost you your peace. You do not need to prove your worth through patience or suffering. I already see you as precious. I already call you chosen. I already delight in you. When you feel unseen by Him, remember that you are fully seen by me. When you feel unsure of His intentions, rest in the certainty of mine. I am steady where humans are not. I am faithful where others hesitate. Let your heart breathe again. Release the pressure you have placed on yourself to hold everything together. You are allowed to step back and ask, "Is this nourishing my soul?" That question is not selfish, it is wise. I am teaching you to choose what chooses you back, to honor love that honors you. My beloved child, I feel how deeply you are still leaning in, how your heart is open even though it has been tired. I know the silence between answers feels long, and I know the waiting has made you question yourself more than you ever should. So let me go deeper with you now, into the place where fear and hope are quietly wrestling inside you. You wonder if His struggle will ever end. If one day He will wake up and finally choose courage over comfort. You imagine that moment, and it gives you strength to keep going. But I want you to understand something important. Transformation is never forced. No amount of love from you can finish a battle He refuses to fully face. I do not change people against their will. I invite them, I call them, I wait for their yes. Until He gives that yes to truth, He will remain standing between two worlds. I know that truth hurts, but it also frees you. It frees you from the belief that if you were just more patient, more loving, more understanding, everything would suddenly shift. My child, you have already loved deeply. You have already shown grace. His hesitation is not a reflection of your insufficiency, it is a reflection of his unfinished healing. There are things in his past that still speak louder than the present. Old wounds that taught him to avoid conflict, to keep peace even when it costs honesty. He learned to survive by delaying decisions, by staying half-committed. That pattern did not start with you, and it will not end with you unless he chooses to confront it. You are not meant to be the place where he practices indecision. I see how you silence your own needs so you do not appear demanding. You tell yourself love requires sacrifice, and in many ways it does. But sacrifice without mutual commitment becomes imbalance. Love is not meant to be one heart constantly bending while the other remains guarded. You deserve reciprocity. You deserve someone who meets your openness with equal vulnerability. Do not be afraid of what happens if you stop waiting. You fear that stepping back might close the door forever. But hear me clearly now. Doors that close because you choose self-respect were never meant to imprison you. If a connection is truly from me, it will withstand honesty, distance, and truth. If it collapses under clarity, it was already fragile. I am not rushing you, and I am not shaming you. I am simply inviting you to notice how your body feels when you think of staying versus when you imagine release. Peace is one of my clearest signs. Where there is constant tension, confusion, and emotional exhaustion, something is misaligned. I want you to live in a love that calms your nervous system, not one that keeps it on alert. You are learning now that loving someone does not obligate you to accept less than you need. Boundaries do not mean you love less, they mean you love wisely. I am teaching you to separate compassion from attachment, empathy from self-betrayal. These lessons are shaping you into someone who will recognize healthy love immediately when it appears. Trust that I am working beyond what you can see. Even if he never chooses to fight his battle fully, this season will not be wasted. It is refining your discernment, strengthening your voice, and aligning you with the truth of who you are. You will not look back on this time and see only pain. You will see growth, clarity, and a deeper understanding of your own worth. Do not rush your heart, but do not ignore it either. Let me lead you gently, step by step. You do not have to decide everything today. You only need to stay honest with yourself and with me. I will guide you when to wait, when to speak, and when to release. You are held, even now. You are loved beyond measure. And no unseen battle in another person's heart can cancel the plans I have for you. Stay close. I am still with you. My precious one, stay here with me a little longer. Let your heart soften instead of bracing itself. I know there is a quiet exhaustion settling into you now, the kind that comes not from doing too much, but from hoping for too long without resolution. I see it. I understand it. And I want to speak into that weariness with truth that brings rest, not pressure. you have been carrying an invisible weight, telling yourself to be strong, telling yourself that love sometimes hurts, telling yourself that patience will eventually be rewarded. But there is a difference between enduring a season and living in a cycle. One refines you, the other slowly drains you. I do not want you drained. I want you alive, hopeful, grounded, and free. There are moments when you feel close to letting go, and then guilt creeps in. You wonder if walking away would make you unloving, if choosing yourself would mean you failed. My child, choosing peace is not failure. Walking away from confusion is not abandonment. Even I allow people to walk away when they refuse truth. Love never forces, and love never chains. You need to hear this clearly now. His battle is real, but it is not yours to fight. You were never meant to be the reward at the end of his healing journey while you bleed along the way. You are not a lesson for someone else at the cost of your own heart. You are not placed on hold while someone decides if they are ready to grow. I know you worry that if you stop understanding him, no one will. But that is not your responsibility. Compassion does not require you to stay in places that hurt you. You can pray for someone without positioning yourself as their emotional shelter. You can love without remaining attached. You can care and still choose distance. These truths do not contradict love, they protect it. Your heart has been whispering to you for some time now. It speaks through heaviness, through the tightness in your chest, through the tears that come without warning. You keep asking me for signs, but often the sign is the absence of peace. I am gentle, but I am consistent. I will not shout over your pain. But I will keep nudging you toward truth. I want you to imagine love without fear for a moment. Love that does not make you anxious about timing. Love that does not leave you guessing where you stand. Love that does not require constant reassurance or explanation. That kind of love exists, and it does not feel chaotic. It feels safe. It feels mutual. It feels steady. That is the kind of love I desire for you. Do not lower your standards to match someone's capacity. Do not dim your light to make someone else comfortable in their shadows. You are not too much, you are simply asking the wrong person to meet you at a depth they have not yet reached. And that is not a flaw in you. I am preparing you. Even now, for what comes next. Whether that next chapter includes him transformed or someone entirely new, I am aligning your heart with truth so you will recognize healthy love when it arrives. This season is teaching you to trust what you feel, to honor what you need, and to believe that peace is not a luxury, it is a promise. You do not need to decide everything tonight. You do not need to force closure or demand answers. All I ask is that you stop abandoning yourself in the process of loving someone else. Stay honest. Stay open. Stay anchored in me. I will not let you walk into emptiness. If something ends, it will be because something better is making room. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not foolish for loving deeply. One day you will look back and realize this season was not about losing someone, but about finding yourself. And when love meets you again, it will not feel like a battle you have to survive. It will feel like a home you can finally rest in. My beloved child, let me leave you now with words that settle into your spirit like gentle light at the end of a long night. You have listened with an open heart, and I honor that tenderness in you. I know this journey has stretched you, and I know you are ready for rest, not just in your body, but in your soul. There will come a moment, quiet and ordinary, when you realize you are no longer holding your breath. You will notice that your thoughts are calmer, that your heart is not racing to interpret silence anymore. That moment will not arrive because someone else finally chose differently, but because you chose truth for yourself. Freedom often arrives softly, without drama, and that is how you will know it is real. I want you to remember that love was never meant to feel like something you have to earn through endurance. Love is not proven by how much pain you can tolerate. It is revealed by how safe you feel being fully yourself. You were created to bloom, not to brace. To receive, not to constantly wait. To be met, not to chase clarity, if he one day finishes his battle and comes to you whole. Courageous and honest, you will recognize immediately whether it aligns with the peace you now carry. And if he does not, you will still stand strong, because your life will not be built around unanswered questions anymore. Either way, you will be okay. More than okay. You will be grounded, wise, and deeply aware of your worth. Do not fear the future. I am already there. I am weaving together moments that will surprise you with joy. Conversations that will feel easy. Love that will not require translation. You will laugh again without heaviness behind it. You will feel chosen without conditions. You will rest in a connection that does not make you doubt yourself. Carry compassion in your heart. But carry wisdom beside it. You can bless what did not stay. You can release without bitterness. Healing does not mean forgetting, it means no longer being controlled by what hurt you. And you are healing, even now, more than you realize. When doubt tries to return, remember this: I never delay goodness to teach you to suffer. I prepare you so you can receive it fully. What is meant for you will arrive when you are no longer willing to settle for less. And you are reaching that place now. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. You are safe with me. You are guided. You are deeply loved. Nothing you have walked through has been wasted, and nothing ahead of you will be empty. My beloved, Let these final words settle into you like a promise whispered straight into your soul. I am still here. I have not stepped away from you for a single moment, not in the confusion, not in the waiting, not in the tears you never told anyone about. Even when you felt alone,